In today's show, we're getting in the holiday spirit, giving out a gift to every player on the Trailblazers roster. Ho, ho, ho. Well, Locked On Blazers, let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter Mike Richmond, and you are listening to another episode of Locked On Blazers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, available wherever you get podcasts and also on YouTube. Thanks for making the show your first listen every single day. Free on all platforms, 5 days a week, coming at you every single weekday. So why not start each and every weekday listening to the show? Make it your first listen. Tell your friends to do the same. It's Locked On Blazers, your team every day. This was supposed to be a mailbag episode. I had promised you a mailbag episode if you're a listener, and we were going to answer listener submitted questions all episode long. That was what I said to close yesterday's show. This is how it was pitched. But then I looked at the mailbag. I got a bunch of good questions in the mailbag. If you want to send me a future question, lockedonblazerspod@gmail.com is a place to do that. But a lot of them were leading to bummers. And I didn't want this show to be a bummer this week. It's too many bummers in Blazerland this week, too many unfun things. I wanted, heading into the holiday weekend, heading into just listening to a Friday show, a Friday version of this podcast, I wanted it to be a little bit of fun. So I scrapped that idea and decided to do something stupid. If you're a longtime listener of the show, it doesn't surprise you that I decided to do something stupid. It's what I do here, baby. We have a lot of fun. So let's have a little bit of fun. What I'm going to do is give out gifts, get in the holiday spirit, holly jolly, whatever, and all that, and give out gifts to all 14 players on the Blazers' regular NBA roster. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. I promise you'll enjoy it. Let's just, without further ado, let's start giving out gifts. The first gift I'm going to give out to Jerami Grant, it's going to be the Driven Extreme Duty Glass Cleaner. This is as good a glass cleaner as you can get on the market. You can find it at a bunch of different places, including a major internet retailer that I'm sure you're familiar with. And you know why it's important for Jerami Grant to get that good glass cleaner? Because my man needs to clean the glass. It's got to rebound. Jerami Grant's weak link in his contributions to the Blazers, where he's been very good, borderline all-star level. I don't think he make the all-star team, but he's been like all-star production. There's 12 spots, unfortunately, but he's been really good. But the place where he has not been good is where historically hasn't been very good. He's not a very good rebounder, and the Blazers have had some games where giving up offensive boards has mattered. They play relatively small, and basically they ask Josh Hart to go nuts on the glass, and that keeps them afloat. When Josh Hart doesn't go nuts on the glass, they can get beat up. Jerami Grant is getting glass cleaner, specifically the Driven Extreme Duty Glass Cleaner, because I want it to be the real deal. I want it to really work. My man's got to clean the glass. The next gift I'm giving out is to Trendon Watford, where I'll be giving my man improv lessons at the Upright Citizens Brigade in Southern California. So why is he getting improv lessons? Well, he's got to learn to play off his teammates. And if you do a little improv comedy, you'll learn to read and react off your teammates better. Trendon Watford, with the ball in his hands, is a force. Dude is too fast for big guys, too powerful for little guys, has a great craft, particularly when he can, sidestep and get to his right hand around the rim. He's got great floater touch. But to take the next level, Trendon Watford has to learn to be a complementary part, has to learn to play off the ball. He's got to learn to play off his teammates. And to get started with that exercise, we're sending Trendon Watford to UCB to take some improv classes to learn to play off his teammates. Do a little yes-anding, Trendon. A little yes-anding so you can be a complementary part. Is that a dumb gift idea? Guess what? We got 12 more in the bag, baby. The next gift is for Nazir Little. I'm going to get Nazir Little a pass to the U.S. Open of Surfing. You might be asking, what's the U.S. Open of Surfing? Well, it is a surfing competition sponsored by Milk for Healthy Bones. The California Milk Board has a special division for Milk for Healthy Bones, promoting milk and bone density, bone safety, and general safety for kids who skate. And they are a sponsor of the U.S. Open for Surfing. And my man Nazir Little just needs a little more bone health, needs a little more calcium, a little more magnesium, and a little more health. If he's on the court, Nas has a chance to be a special basketball player. He just hasn't been on the court very much. He's dealing with a fractured bone in his hip. We're going to send him to the U.S. Open of Surfing, hook him up with the good people who run the Got Milk ads, and get his body right. Next gift, we're giving it out to Yusuf Nurkic. And for Nurk, I'm actually going to give him a access to a former sponsor of this podcast. That is a pass to Masterclass. Masterclass is a place where you can become an expert on things. And one of the things where that Masterclass offers a lesson in expertise is the George Mikan drill technique. That's right. George Mikan, famous with his coach at DePaul University in Chicago for developing the Mikan drill. It is a series of layups that you can do around the rim to improve your finishing. And now with Masterclass, there's 5 variations of the Mikan drill, so you can learn all types of finishing around the rim. Spend 10 minutes a day on Masterclass, Yusuf Nurkic, and you're going to take your game to the next level. Level up with Masterclass. That's what you're getting, Nurk. And the next gift is going to Shaden Sharp. Shaden Sharp is getting a book. It's good, I think in general, it is good to give young people books. As you get older, typically, and this is kind of a generalization, but typically as you get older, you kind of find books on your own, right? You just, the delights of the young person are not as extreme, and you just find yourself reading more, sitting around and reading more books. But Shaden Sharp is a teenager. I think it's very appropriate to give teenagers books, encourage them to read in their free time, read for fun. And for that, I'm giving Shaden Sharp 10% Happier by Dan Harris. The tagline for 10% Happier is how I tamed the voice in my head, reduced stress without losing my edge, and found self-help that actually worked. Shaden Sharp is so darn good. He has so many skills. But for me, the problem right now for Shaden Sharp is either predetermining or not predetermining what he's going to do. He either says, when I get it, I'm shooting it. And you can see him miss badly on three-pointers because he has decided to load up and shoot it as soon as he catches it. Or he's not quite there with his thinking. And he's saying he doesn't know what he's going to do when he catches it. So he has to catch, survey, and that delay is causing him to turn the ball over. It's causing him to travel, causing him to pass up shots that he otherwise would have clean looks at. He's shooting above 50% from three. Like he can really shoot it. When he puts the ball on the ground, he's a much worse shooter. But like what you want to see from Shaden Sharp is just being ready, clearing your head, tame the voice in your head, reduce stress without losing your edge. That's 10% Happier by Dan Harris. That's the book we're giving Shaden Sharp this holiday season. I got more gifts in the second segment. We got things that we're going to give out to Keon Johnson, Jabari Walker, and Josh Hart. Join me to find what those gifts are in the second segment. But first, let me tell you that this program is brought to you by NHTSA's holiday season reminder that driving high is considered driving under the influence. That's right. Driving under the influence of marijuana is against the law in every state, even states where marijuana is legal. That means driving high could get you a DUI. And if you think that cops aren't going to be able to tell you're driving high, you're wrong. Friends can tell, your coworkers can tell, your parents can tell, and they've always been able to tell. Everybody can tell. So what makes you think the police officers out there don't know you're driving high? Driving under the influence of marijuana can slow your response time and change how you perceive time and speed. So even if you think you're fine to drive when you're high, you're not. Because the bottom line is if you feel different, you drive different. And driving high is driving under the influence. So remember, drive high, get a DUI. This ad is paid for by the NHTSA. All right. The weather outside is frightful. It's literally frightful right now here in Portland, Oregon. Much of the country, basically, other than Southern California, frightful weather this time of year, or at least this weekend. Stay safe out there. The weather outside is frightful, and here the podcast is a little bit stupid. Let's continue having a little bit of fun. Holly jolly Christmas and all, and holly jolly all winter holidays that you might be celebrating right now. We got some more gifts to give out. The next one we're giving out to Josh Hart is wood glue. Wood glue is a common cleaner for when your record is skipping. There's a lot of ways to fix a skipped record. I've had some crappy record players in my life. One of them is just to balance the arm a little bit better, and one of them is just to keep your records clean. Don't store them in dusty places. You put them in the dust, they're going to get a little bit, you leave them somewhere they're going to get dusty, they're going to skip. You drop a record on and immediately skips, immediately pops. it's terrible. It's not a good sound. And that's what Josh Hart is doing when he's out on the court. He is doing what was termed by another podcaster, Nate Duncan of Dunked On, and probably introduced to the basketball world more aggressively there. It's called a record scratch. It's when the ball is swinging around and making beautiful music and it finds someone at the three-point line and they don't shoot it, and you hear that, uh-oh, you should have shot it. The record scratched. You've now broken the play, and because you didn't shoot it, the offense is worse for it. Josh Hart has way too many record scratches, way too many, when you just want him to shoot the ball. You just want him to shoot the ball. It'll help keep the sweet music playing if he shoots it. Wood glue is, for my records heads out there, is a great way to clean your records. You use just a little bit of glue. You wipe it along the record. You don't want to get the record wet. You don't want to get it super gluey, but a tiny little bit of wood glue is going to pull up that dust and dirt, pull up that debris on your record, and it's going to keep it clean, keep it from skipping, keep it from scratching. I'm giving Josh Hart wood glue. I'm giving Greg Brown III Delta Sky Miles. Greg Brown has spent a lot of time flying between Portland and Southern California, playing in the G League for the Ontario Clippers. Reason to believe that Greg Brown won't do that all season long eventually, but he's going to probably spend some time back and forth for the remainder of the year. And unlike, normal people who travel a lot, Greg Brown plays in the NBA, travels a lot. He flies private. He doesn't have the perks of air travel. So I want to hook my man up with some air miles, because if you've traveled nowadays, one, you might be traveling right now this weekend. You might be listening to this podcast as you travel. It is a hassle, and folks with airline status have it better than folks who don't. I used to have a job where I had airline status back in the day. It was better than my life is now without that airline status. So I want to, even if you buy your way up into first class, which Greg Brown makes enough money that he can do that no problem. The Blazers are going to pay for his flights. They can do that no problem. Life is better when you have the status. So I want to give Greg Brown some airline miles, get him up into that, get him up into the platinum or gold or whatever have you, whatever it might be status. So he can travel in comfort. He's a tall person. He needs to have it easy. And if he's going to be flying a lot between Ontario, California and the greater Portland area, let's make it easier on GB3. He's getting Sky Miles. The next gift is Keon Johnson, where I am getting him stilt walking lessons from pegstilts.com. For $50 an hour, you can get intro to stilts walking classes at pegstilts.com. This is actually the last day to order them, according to the website. So if you are listening to this on Friday, December 23rd, it is too late. You are not going to get stilts walking classes for this Christmas season, but you can get them for the new year. It's okay. Just give someone an IOU for February or what have you. Here's why I'm giving Keon Johnson stilts walking classes. I think Keon Johnson can play. I think he's good. I think he still has some decision making woes where it's like he kind of just kind of gets sped up a little bit and makes bad decisions. But for the most part, he's come back and been a competitive defensive player. His shot has looked really good, particularly when he's wide open with his feet set. Really, really clean. He's still a great athlete. Had an incredible chase down block the other night because he's actually excellent at chasing guys down and blocking shots from behind. Keon on a lot of other teams would play, but on this team, when they already are playing Anthony Simons a bunch of minutes and already playing Damian Lillard a bunch of minutes, they're already playing Josh Hart up a spot at small forward. Eventually, they want to play Gary Payton probably up mostly at small forward, a little bit of two. There's just not a lot of minutes for someone Keon's size. If Keon was 6'8", he'd be the perfect solution to this team. So I propose getting him stilts walking lessons, get him to be an expert on those stilts. You add 4 to 5, 6, 7 inches to Keon, probably about 4. I think is totally reasonable to Keon Johnson. Get him like in that 6'6", 6'7" range. He's going to be a monster. He's already a good basketball player. He's just not the right size to be a regular contributor on this iteration of the Blazers. So I'm giving Keon, I'm giving him intro classes, 1 hour to kind of learn the ropes, and then he can foot the bill for the rest. Get him hooked at pegstilts.com. The next gift I'm giving to Justice Winslow, where I'm going to give him a trial of Warby Parker. This is the internet eyeglasses provider where you put in for the styles and what you need, vision wise in the internet or into their little portal on their website, And Warby Parker mails you eyeglasses, not sunglasses, eyeglasses back, and you can pick your styles you want, try them on, and no hassle and easy returns. I just think that maybe Justice Winslow could benefit from some nearsighted corrections. You know, he has trouble seeing from 23 to 24 feet, where he shoots a ton of bricks from the three-point line. So maybe some stylish glasses could correct some nearsighted issues, make him look cool as heck, and then maybe find his shot from distance. I'm offering Justice Winslow a gift card to Warby Parker's selection of glasses. For Jabari Walker, I am offering him a book. This is teenagers get books here. He's 20, but he was a teenager when he got drafted. He's a young person. The Power of Patience by M.J. Ryan. Because Jabari Walker's just not going to play this year with any regularity if things don't go really south for the Blazers. But I think Jabari Walker has the tools to be a pretty good basketball player. You know, he's been up and down this year, because he's a 20-year-old rookie playing in the league. But the moments when he's good, you kind of see the vision. He understands how to play basketball, got a high basketball IQ. He does a lot of things well. He can pass, he can handle a little bit, he can shoot a little bit. He's got good defensive instincts. As he sharpens his skills, I think he can be a contributor pretty early in his career. I would have no surprise if he's a regular contributor in his second season. 57th pick in the draft. If you are an NBA player with that spot, you've had a really, you defied the odds. I think Walker absolutely has the skill set to defy the odds. But for this season, he's going to need patience. He's been outside of the rotation, spent a lot of time watching. He's too good to go to the G League, but not good enough to get in the regular rotation. He is going to need the power of patience. That's why I'm giving MJ Ryan's book, The Power of Patience, to Jabari Walker. Okay, let's close the show with this goofy gift idea. We got 4 more gifts to give out to Drew Eubanks, Gary Payton, Damian Lillard, and Anthony Simons. But first, I want to tell you that this episode is brought to you by BetOnline. It's the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your sports action. Whatever that sports action might be, you're going to find it on BetOnline. You got NBA games, you got NHL games, you got MLB futures, you got soccer all over the globe as that starts back up post-World Cup. You're going to find combat sports. You're going to find tennis. You're going to find golf. You're going to find whatever it is with more lines, more props, more odds than anywhere else. Plus, they got news. They got analysis. They even got podcasts. If you're in a sports podcast, they got betting podcasts to help you become a smarter, better. So don't wait. Go take advantage today. That's BetOnline, where the game starts. Still a pass first point guard. Still Mike Richmond, and you are still listening to Locked On Blazers. Ho, ho, ho. Come on Donner, on Blitzen, etc. Let's give out some more gifts. For Drew Eubanks, I'm giving him the game catchphrase, which is the game of quick decisions. Catch it, guess it, toss it. That is the tagline for the game catchphrase. Because for me, I would like to give Drew Eubanks the Mario Mushroom. I would just like Drew Eubanks to get 50% better at everything he does. Like to get him 50% stronger, 50% better rebounder, 50% better finisher, 50% better pick setter. He's an elite center if he's 50% better at everything else. Dude's already a great finisher, really nice hook shot, particularly turning over his left shoulder with his right hand. He doesn't ever try to do too much, plays within himself, plays incredibly hard. You get a lot of good out of Drew Eubanks, and if you got 50% more of everything he does at the level he plays at, you would get a lot of great out of Drew Eubanks. But I can't give him a Mario Mushroom because that's a thing that exists in video games. So instead, I think his real weakness on offense right now for Eubanks is his decision making. When he sets screens and they double the ball and he catches it in 4-on-3 situations, he's a little bit slow to make decisions. So I want him to practice quick decision making with the fun family game catchphrase. You think quickly, you pass it quickly. That is the whole idea of the game. It's actually a whole bunch of fun. I recommend if you're at home this weekend and have access to it, playing it with your friends and family. Drew Eubanks just needs to practice getting off the ball quicker, making quick decisions, and passing that thing. And catchphrase is a great way to do that. The next gift I'm giving out is to Anthony Simons. And I'm going to give Anthony Simons a meeting with celebrity dog whisperer rather, Cesar Millan. Because I just hope Anthony Simons can discover that dog in him. Cesar Millan is famous for taming your wild dog. But I want him to use his powers for the opposite. I want him to unleash that dog within Anthony Simons. Ant is a really special talent. He's one of the best shooters in the league. Straight up one of the best offensive players in the league. He's improved a great deal at getting to the rim aggressively this year and is a really good finisher, particularly getting to his strong hand. Maybe not really good. He's a much improved finisher getting to his strong hand. He's a great offensive player right now. To unlock the next level of Anthony Simons, I want to unleash that dog in him. Find that dog in him. That's why I'm getting Cesar Millan to. This is a little bit spendy. I don't think Cesar Millan's going to come cheap. I don't even know if Cesar Millan still works anymore. But I'm getting celebrity dog whisperer Cesar Millan to come meet with Anthony Simons so they can find that dog in him and unleash the super aggressive, hyped up version of Anthony Simons. Imagine Anthony Simons playing with the motor that Josh Hart does. That's what I'm looking for. Cesar Millan's going to find that dog in him. For Damian Lillard, I'm getting him some anti-aging serum. Specifically, the Ultimune Power Infusing Serum costs about $140 at your local online retailers. Because what Damian Lillard needs is just to stay young forever. He is excellent. He's playing at an all-star level again. He had bad shooting week in OKC, but like on the whole, he's playing at an all-star level again. He's a freaking excellent basketball player, and when he's been back and been healthy, he's been just great. And the Blazers they're 12-8 when Dame plays. They play like a team that's going to win 50 games. They're on pace for like a 50-win type team when he's in the lineup. That includes wins over Phoenix, includes wins over Denver. Like they've beaten the good teams in the Western Conference with him there. They've lost to some good teams too with him in the lineup. But 12-8 when Dame plays. 20 games of Damian Lillard this season. He just needs some anti-aging serum. Look young, stay young, because the Blazers' timeline is probably a full season away from them being really good or a chance to be really good, because they're going to need a trade deadline and they're going to need an off season to kind of fully take this roster from where it is, which is competitive in the West for sure, to more than competitive, to that next level where you could conceivably talk about them competing for championships. They're not there yet. And at 32 years old, Damian Lillard doesn't have a lot of time to wait around. But I believe he can still be a very good basketball player, particularly if he just uses this anti-aging serum to look young, stay young, feel young, and play young, baby. Dame could use a time machine of sorts, but again, only exists in fiction like Harry Potter and Doctor Strange. So what we're getting him is it's just stuff to make you look younger. You look younger, maybe you feel younger. That's the trick for Damian Lillard. The last gift I'm giving out is to Gary Payton II. When I am getting him is a Portland Trailblazers jersey. Because that's what we want to see Gary Payton in. We want to see him wearing a Portland Trailblazers jersey. We've seen him wear a lot of cool outfits. Seen a lot of fun sweatsuits. He's a fun dresser. They mic him up on the bench. He's an incredibly compelling personality. And he has this potential to be a solution to a lot of the Blazers' current problems, which is they can't keep dudes in front of them on the perimeter. And if you have someone who seemingly answers that question that you are posing every night, who's going to guard this dude? And it's GP. Even if it's 20 minutes, it's closing in on half the game of someone who could be a really effective defender. And I think if the Blazers could prop up 20 minutes, 18 to 22 minutes a night with a really, really good perimeter defender, that takes him to the next level. That's why I'm giving Gary Payton II a jersey. Reports from Chris Haynes, a Bleacher Report, suggest that Gary Payton is targeting next week to return. That would be after the Blazers' road trip concludes following the Christmas holiday. They're back in town. They play the Hornets on Monday night on December 26th. Haynes had reported 2 weeks ago that Gary Payton was going to try to play within 1 to 2 weeks. So whether it's next week, the 26th, or beginning of next week, the 26th, or a little bit later in the week, if Payton is back and gets the gift of a jersey, it'll be one of the best things the Blazers do all of 2022 is get Payton back out on the floor, closing in on the halfway mark of the season, and get him into the lineup and figure out how he fits. It's going to be crucial for him. That's my gifts. Those are my gifts. Were the gifts a little bit silly? Yeah, this was the whole point of the podcast, was to have a little fun. I hope this brought you a little bit of cheer. The Blazers play the Denver Nuggets this evening, or the evening of December 23rd, as you are listening to this. That'll wrap up their 6-game road trip, 6-game in 10 days. They've been on the road for a long time. They're back, and it gets home heavy. They'll be home a bunch in January. Things get a little bit lighter travel-wise in 2023, so that's something to look forward to. If you were spending time this holiday weekend with folks you love and care about, I hope you can find joy in those moments and hold on tightly to it. If you are not able to see the ones you love and care about this holiday weekend, I hope that you are finding joy in other places and remembering the things that bring you joy this season. And I hope in some ways this podcast, even a goofy bottle episode like this one, brings you a little bit of joy. I'm not a big Christmas fella. In fact, I own a Christmas sweater, and for the YouTube video, I almost wore it, and I decided that would be a little bit disingenuous to the type of person I am. Here's what I am. I'm pro-joy. I believe in finding and remembering things that make you happy and then trying to stay with those things as much as you can. So instead of like Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, this is just find your joy and appreciate it and cling tightly to it and help those around you do the same. I appreciate you listening. I'll talk to you soon.